As I mentioned with Paul DeMonico's book on learning how to communicate more effectively and better with your organization's leadership, every executive needs this. Okay? So if you, as an individual, are learning to do that, you will capture your executive's attention, hopefully in a good way. Okay? Because in reality, almost 90% of everything we do in business boils down to communication. Back 10, 15 years ago, when I was actively teaching project management and project managers, helping prepare them to pass the project management professional, we used to teach that project management is 80% communications. Well, actually, it's more than that. It's probably 90%, and it doesn't matter if you use traditional methodologies or something in between, or agile methodologies and Scrum. It's all communication. And so we will give you the tools that help you communicate better and better with your organization and your organization's leadership. And you'll be able to duplicate these remarkable results. It's basically success breeds success. As you get better and better at applying these tools, you're going to go, oh, wow, this works. And it's going to energize you and breathe life into you, what you're doing, and what you're delivering to the organization. That alone should be enough to say, okay, I need this. But what's in it for you is you're going to become better as a leader by learning the principles, the mindset, and the tool set that we deliver in Flow. What's in it for your teams? Well, again, you're going to be able to deliver consistently. You're going to be able to duplicate the success that you've been doing individually. Now you can start to help your team members via training, coaching, and mentoring them how to do the same, how to do it in a sustainable way. You will help the team pursue team excellence and transformation of that team if that's necessary in order to get them to higher and higher levels of sustainable performance. And that will increase the value of your team's brand within the organization and the wow that the team is delivering. So your teams will be able to consistently and repeatedly deliver remarkable results that derive from unity, entering into a sustainable state of flow by focusing on the most important things like vision, mission, and team goals for the next iteration of the incremental product, service, or result that delivers real business value. Okay? And so you'll be taking your team to higher and higher levels of performance. In addition to the higher levels of performance that your team will be delivering, we've noticed that Flow does some really interesting things. It creates an amazing level of team spirit and team member loyalty. One executive got so excited he sent his people in to find out, how did you do that? Because in a retrospective that we had with that executive, one of the team members said, this team is more important to me than my own department. This team and the team members on it have become my friends, so that when we pass each other in the hall, it's just not like, hey, how's it going? We actually talk, we find out how everybody's doing, and this guy just went on and just oozed this level of team loyalty and team spirit that blew that executive away. He couldn't believe it. He afterwards he said, that's what I want for every team. And every executive wants this for their team. And so this is what flow delivers. And I've seen people who understand the principles of flow, who are able to breathe life into teams and duplicate this level of loyalty over and over and over again. When you are able to do that, executives are going to look at you and just go, how did you do that? And I want that everywhere, okay? Because it's duplicatable, and those are remarkable results. And as you have that success, it's going to breed success with each and every team that you're breathing life into. It just energizes them in a way that's truly amazing. I've seen this over and over again, and I've trained, coached, and mentored other coaches and consultants to be able to do the exact same thing. And so they're able to duplicate this. It's not rocket science, and it appears really, really easy, but it's not. It's not easy to do, because if everybody could do it, they would, but they don't, because they don't understand the mindset, they don't understand the tool set, and they don't really grasp what it is that we're doing in flow that creates these remarkable results. This graph or this diagram applies not just to the team level, this applies to the individual level. It applies to the product box, including program, process, and line management, and it definitely applies to the organizational box from portfolio level all the way up to the C-suite. I've done this over and over and over again, where it doesn't matter what the methodology is that you're using. Flow is agnostic when it comes to the methods that are already being used in an organization. And so when you look at traditional methods right now succeed anywhere from 14 to 16% of the time, and that's study after study after study, whether you quote Standish or the Standish Chaos study, that is Dr. Sutherland, or even PMI in Sweden has been doing the state of project management survey now for multiple years, and they've barely moved from originally around the 14% level. I think 2018, 2017, 2018, they were pretty much plateauing out at 16%. And that's without flow. Now, we have observed over and over and over again that when you use flow with traditional projects, you get agile results, or sometimes even better than agile results if you're using flow with traditional. Okay. Now, in some of the other videos and interviews that we have, when you take flow and apply it to agile methods, it's like putting a match to gasoline. Okay, agile methods succeed around 42% of the time. That was Dr. Sutherland that presented that many years ago. I'm not sure that those numbers have increased at all, but we've had individual after individual. We have a flow certified coach who is working towards being a flow certified trainer. His organization was already doing agile. Okay, this is a teams that had been doing agile, and when we trained them 5 years ago, they went and took flow, and in the first 90 days they increased productivity by 300%. Okay, that's amazing. That's remarkable. That's what flow is all about. It's going to turbocharge what you're doing, and it consistently delivers remarkable results. Does it succeed every time? No, we actually have 2 case studies in our book out of those 14 case studies in flow that are where it didn't work because politics wiped it out. Okay, so you have to be aware even flow doesn't work 100% of the time, and that's why I don't put the arrow all the way to 100%, but it's heading the right direction. And so I think that it's really important for people to understand that if you look on the left side of these trend lines, if you're not using flow, you're going to get a certain level of success. But if you're applying flow, flow is a leadership framework that sits on top of whatever you're doing and turbocharges it. If you use flow, we are absolutely certain that you're going to be way over half the time succeeding more than you ever did before. So these are achieved over time, and we achieve this not just through training, but through coaching and mentoring. Okay, it's really important to understand. It's great to understand the theory in the book and to take the training, but the coaching and mentoring over time with a seasoned, battle-scarred veteran who understands the principles of flow, that's where you're going to get the biggest return for your investment. And so the success rate will go up if you're using flow with whatever you're doing. And just remember, flow is methodology agnostic, and it helps all these other methods play nice together. So we've talked about what's in it for me individually. We've talked about what's in it for my team or teams. Now we're going to talk about what's in it for my product development, my program management, my process management, and my line management. And again, you're going to see that it's the consistency, the fact that you can duplicate it, that you create sustainable levels of flow. And here we're pursuing product excellence and or transformation or even innovation. And the whole goal is to increase the value of your organization's brand and the wow that your organization is delivering to your end users and customers. Because if we're not delighting our customers, if we're not delivering a wow, we won't be in business very long. And with everything that's happened here in the first quarter of 2020 with COVID-19, coronavirus, you need to be aware that coming out on the other side, if you're working in any of these 4 boxes, your ability to deliver and add tremendous value to the organization is going to help you potentially secure or remain in your current role. So this one's going to be really hard to predict, but I believe that flow is more relevant today than it's ever been. In product flow, flow balances innovation and operational excellence. We have a whole bunch of pictures that teach this one as well. So it's used for your product development and product lifecycle management, program management, process management, and line management, as I mentioned before. It helps you create duplicatable, remarkable results as well as alignment in the organization. So it helps you align your team with the product, service, or result and the why of that product. What is it that you're trying to deliver? And so what's in it for the team includes what we had on the last slide and this slide. And that's really powerful, especially when you take something like the 4D model that I mentioned earlier, and you look at your definitions, your distillation, your delivery, and your drive. That's really almost a marketing perspective and an iterative process that we can use in marketing for any product development that we're trying to achieve a product, service, or result that is going to leave our customer going, wow, and that they're delighted. And I believe every executive wants that as well. Last but not least is organizational flow. Every executive wants to have consistency. They want their successes to be duplicatable and sustainable. Doesn't help if everybody burns themselves out. Every executive wants their organization to pursue excellence. And when they're doing that, that increases the chance for any kind of transformation that you might be going through, whether it's a waterfall to agile transformation or digitalization, which is the buzzword right now, or if you're looking at, hey, how do we do DevOps or whatever. Flow helps you in that area be successful with those kinds of transformation. And so flow will help you increase the value of your organization and the wow delivered. And when you do that, that goes directly to the value of your shares.